Hello YouTube, welcome to Draco Ray Gaming. Today I would like to talk to you about loadouts and how you should adjust them depending if you are playing on controller or mouse and keyboard. I've played both on PC and I've tried my friends' loadouts that use controller, and I play on mouse and keyboard quite a bit. So I'd like to talk today about the differences. As usual, no BS, no fluff. Here we go. Alright, here we are in Warzone. I'm going to show you some of my loadouts and talk to you about the differences between mouse and keyboard and what I saw trying my friends' loadouts. We can take a good example, say like the Mac 10. Now, on controller, it's very forgiving. When I play on controller, I've noticed that the closer you are, the stronger the aim assist is. It pulls you in, it magnets you in, it kind of helps you, it kind of does the work for you a little bit there. Especially if you make any mistakes or anything like that, it's gonna eliminate that and help you out. Now, this comes into play with stability, right? So you need a lot of stability when you're on mouse and keyboard, and you can sacrifice some of those when you're going with the controller and you have the aim assist. So right now, this is my mouse and keyboard setup, and I'm going with these, and I'll explain why. Here on the flashguard suppressor, or flashguard 9 muzzle, it's giving me vertical recoil control and aiming stability. And for me, the stability and the accuracy is huge, especially if I make a human error mistake, where that's not going to happen if you're already locked onto the person or near the person with the aim assist on controller. It's going to pull you in and help you out and eliminate any of those minor adjustments human error wise. On mouse, it's absolutely unforgiving. So for me, the flashguard 9 helps me out a lot more than, say, I know a lot of other people are running different things, like say the SOCOM eliminator. Now you get some vertical recoil control here, but you don't get any horizontal recoil control. Your shooting movement speed and the move speed is also lessened, which helps me out a lot when I'm versing controller players that slide a lot and move around very quickly. So it depends on what you want to compensate for. Right here too, me sacrificing horizontal for vertical on the infantry compensator, I don't like. Now the effective damage range, the sound suppressor just doesn't help. If you're gonna go sound suppressor, you'd probably want to go agency suppressor, where you're getting everything, but your ADS and your aiming stability are affected. So for me, going with the flashguard 9 is the most effective for me on the Mac 10 on mouse and keyboard. Now, if I was on controller, I could sacrifice probably some of that horizontal recoil control or ADS speed, maybe SOCOM eliminator. I know some people go infantry compensator. You could go with these two. I would say, like, if you were on controller and get away with it. For me on mouse and keyboard, the flashguard 9 is the best choice on muzzle. Let's look at the barrel. So the 6.1 reinforced heavy, I'm getting bullet velocity, effective damage range, but it is affecting my sprint movement speed and walking speed a little bit, where I compensate on other attachments for that, so it's a wash. Now, a lot of people go let's see here, like task force. So you get a lot of bonuses, but for me, the vertical and horizontal recoil control just absolutely kills me on mouse and keyboard. Now, if I was on controller, this would be much more manageable, and I could get that strafe speed, the bullet velocity, the effective damage range, and all of that without having to worry too much about the recoil, as it's not that bad on the Mac 10 to begin with, but I like to keep it down. And you can see here, with effective damage range and bullet velocity on, you can compensate for that on other attachments when you're going with agency suppressor, or let's see here, I think there was another one. I think it was just agency suppressor, so you got that effective damage range and all that. So you could compensate on one or the other, depending. Now, if we're looking at, so that's why I went here with the effective damage range, bullet velocity, and I sacrificed a little bit of that speed that I made up for somewhere else. So like I said, some people will go task force. You could go with that on controller. For me, the 6.1 reinforced heavy is the best option on barrel. Let's take a look. So this really helped me too, with stability on mouse and keyboard versus controller. You take the stock, right? We're looking at firing movement speed, aim walking movement speed, ADS firing movement speed. I'm very quick, I can move around, and my accuracy is up high. If I make a little bit of mistakes, my vertical and horizontal recoil control are fine. The effective damage range, people are at a distance, I don't have to swap to another gun, right? So we're buffing all these things, and then we're adding the movement speed to try to make yourself a harder target to hit. Now, there's different options you can go with, and of course this comes with preference, right? Aim walking movement speed can help, but honestly, the firing, you get a lot of bonuses here with a little bit of hipfire accuracy. So I don't hipfire a ton. Now, hipfire on controller is a lot better with the aim assist than it is on mouse and keyboard. So for me, on mouse and keyboard, I didn't mind the hip-fire accuracy too much. If you're running and gunning in multiplayer, or you're relying on hip-fire accuracy a lot, then you would want to do that. So with the Raider stock here, you're getting a lot of that as well as the hip-fire accuracy. So you're getting ADS fires move speed, firing movement speed. You're getting ADS here, firing move me, sprint to fire time. So for me, sprint to fire time doesn't matter too much unless I'm playing multiplayer. Or a lot of controller players in the gulag would rely on that, things like that. For me here, it's better for me on mouse and keyboard versus controller to go with the firing movement speed, aim walking movement speed, and ADS firing movement speed. Be a little bit harder target to hit, and it just feels overall stable. Some of the attachments don't say they buff things, but when you put them on, and the way the overall gun is balanced and feels is completely different when I'm using this SAS combat stock, so it helps me out a lot. It's a very, very forgiving loadout that I'm using on the MAC-10. Let's check out the Underbarrel. I'm using the Field Agent foregrip because I really want my vertical and horizontal recoil control. And then here you can see it's the fire movement speed, ADS movement speed is deafened a little, but I'm buffing that with the stock, right? So it helps a little bit. A lot of people run the SFOD, which you can. Your movement speed is deafened. This increased movement speed and hip fire accuracy on the striker grip. Sprint to fire, horizontal recoil. So for me, foregrip would be another one. Horizontal recoil control is important, but the vertical and horizontal pros with a little bit of the minus on the movement speed is way better for me. The gun is super stable, so that's why I went with that one. And then if you're looking at ammunition, the drum has an ADS, ADS down sight time minus, but the ammo capacity goes up, right? A lot of people run the Salvo 53 round fast mag. You can. I just felt like the drum capacity was a little bit better for me. I don't know why the gun felt better, but you can go with either one here. And most people run with the 53 round in Warzone. So this is kind of an example and a walkthrough of the attachments that you could use when you're going controller versus mouse and keyboard. You need to really look at what you can do. So like if we take all this information that I just gave you and we talk about it real short, we just sum it up, it's really like you can sacrifice some of the recoil control and accuracy when you're on controller for other buffs, ADS, movement speed, effective damage range. You want to go for those types of things, right? Because you have the aim assist to help lock in. Now for mouse and keyboard, it's very unforgiving. So it's all about ADS, it's all about stability, accuracy, and recoil control to really make sure those bullets are landing. Because if the bullets are landing and you're ADSing quick, you can help take out controller players with the aim assist, right? And then with the controller, I mean, you can beat mouse and keyboard players a little bit by being quicker with the ADS and the movement speeds because your recoil control doesn't matter as much because you're having aim assist help lock you in. So I hope this helped you out, guys. This is my tips and tricks on setting it up and what I've seen playing both keyboard and controller, keyboard and mouse and controller on PC and seeing the differences, and this is what really helps me out. So depending on controller keyboard, I'll have 2 separate loadouts, and I really recommend you guys looking into this. It's really, really helpful. I hope this helped you guys out. I'm Draco Ray Gaming. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Click that notification bell. We have a lot of fun on the live streams. Get some games in with me. Come visit. I'm Draco Ray, and I'll see you guys next time.